Walter makes a run ahead of him. Bergkamp suddenly changed pace through the centre. It's Bergkamp! That's magnificent! The move, and then this, which left Dabby's ass totally stranded.
Hello, dear listeners and viewers and people having a bath, and welcome to episode number, I think you're number 33, Melvyn. Where is it? So it is indeed my 33rd prediction in the ABW Waste of Time Predictions League. And as I just given it away, with me this afternoon is Melvyn Marks from The Only Way is Arsenal. And I forgot to add that onto your podcast. How are you doing?
Yeah, fine, thanks.
Lucky.
Yes, it is the third time lucky. Yeah, we've had a couple of false starts, haven't we?
Yes, I'm just going to add, what's the app for Your Only Way is Arsenal?
No, that's just my name. It does. I'm on the transfer exchange now. I'm only on that.
Are you? Transfer exchange?
Yeah, with on Tuesday nights at 8:00.
Oh, who owns that?
It's Kieran, really good guy, Kieran, really good. And my son's on it as well, and a good guy called Steve K, who I knew from years ago on a pod. The three of us, Steve K, Kieran, and myself, were on a pod years and years ago. And we went our separate ways. And then I was in the gutter, and they just picked me up and pushed me on the side and said, "No, you might do. Give me a little shake. You might do." So that's where I am now.
Well, you can't argue with that. Are you over the moon about our trophy haul of 4 trophies that we've already had this season? Because it's more than Spurs have had in the last 100 years.
Yeah, but it's going to cost us a lot of money, this given an extension for our trophy room, isn't it? I mean, I'm a bit worried about that.
There goes the cheese room.
Goalkeeper. Well, another third goalkeeper. We're going to get,
Yeah, Raya signed today.
Never know. Yeah, brilliant.
That's brilliant. Do you rate him?
Oh, terrific goalkeeper. Yes, absolutely. And even if he doesn't play, and he will play, he'll push Ramsdale, won't he? So that's very good news.
I was reading that he once in a championship game. Oh, my moustache is getting a bit long and it's irritating my face. That in one championship game, he did 300 passes out from goal.
Fantastic.
That's not too shonky, is it?
And also, a lot of them, I don't just watch him. Brentford have been a fantastic team since they've come up, haven't they? I mean, some of their players are terrific. And his accuracy for these long balls, like out of one arm, kick it to a 70-yard diagonal pass, as good as you get. It's interesting. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, because Ramsdale did that when he was first with us, and that's what he's known for, the quick counter-attack, launching the ball, usually down the left wing, but occasionally
with his right foot, that's why. Yeah. Because he's right-footed, Ramsdale, that's right.
Yes, definitely. And then he stopped doing it, didn't he? And I've said it a few times on these shows, that it almost as if, because you have to kick it really hard to do that, and he almost pulled up a few times with holding his thigh. So maybe he's not able to do it. But we didn't see much of that in the second half of the season, did we?
No, we didn't. No, that's a fair comment. No, we didn't.
Yeah. But so do you think he's going to be fighting him for number 1, or do you reckon it's going to be to try and give him all the cup games? Because that's what most teams do when they've got two first-team goalies. Do you think they'll be giving him first early stages of the Champions League, or how do you think it's going to work with the two? Because he can't just have him at the club and not play him, can he? No,
of course not. Unless Ramsdale has a stinker, he'll only play to start with in European games and League Cup and stuff like that. Yeah. But after that, after the first round of nondescript European games, he will be knocking at the door every game. Ramsdale will know he's there breathing down his neck. So I think everything changes after that.
Yeah, it does seem like a good idea. So you're confident for the season coming up?
Well, I'll tell you later. You can't just, you can't throw that at me, throwing a swerve ball like that, Danny. You've got to do it in order, regimental order.
You certainly do have to do it in that order, because, yes. Well, let's get on and give it a tickle then, shall we? We're going to go on here. And then do this button, and we do this button, and the cat's moved out of the way, thankfully. That's made my life a lot easier. And then we can see it on the screen there. So I will fill in this podcast or blog bit later when I can find the app. I had a quick look, but I couldn't find it. So your name is indeed Melvyn.
Correct, yes, sir.
And I know a Melvyn, and he's currently in prison. That's the only one I know. And there you go. And your Twitter is at Melvyn Marks.
Correct. Yeah.
And you are a family dynasty of podcasters. Doesn't your daughter do some as well?
No.
No? I thought she did.
No,
you said your son did.
My son, Jerome, yeah.
I can't get my daughter to come and do a podcast, and she's over in Cambodia at the moment, and all the boys are talking about football, and she said, I didn't want to chirp up and say that I've been to see Arsenal play at Highbury and the Emirates, and my dad's a world famous YouTuber, because they might have checked and found out she was lying, but the first two parts of that was actually were truths. Yeah. So who have you got for, I'll make this a little bit bigger, who have you got for the Premier League?
So I keep changing in all the time, but when I first did this, I had the Premier League. I'm going to say Arsenal now. I'm going to say Arsenal. You've got to be a bit confident now. I'm going for it.
What's made you change your mind?
I think that we might have actually, not just after this one game, but the build-up and everything, and they've lost a few players, might have got in City's heads a little bit.
Yeah.
I really do think that. And also, the De Bruyne is not 100% fit. I know they don't start the season well, City, but he looks like he's one injury away of being out for a bit. So you never know, dear. You never know. I'm going for it. I'm not normally that optimistic, but I'm going for it.
But you won't end up in prison if you're wrong. No one's going to send you a fine through the post. You're not going to get your car impounded. So you might as well go mad and go, well, it's the best. When was the last time we had a team this good?
Well, the Invincibles, I suppose, isn't it?
God, that is saying something, can it? Almost 20 years ago.
And everything's gone well. It's just looking in every respect, the club's getting it right everywhere.
Yeah.
There is a small caveat to that.
Oh.
And you probably know, and I listen to a lot of Arsenal supporters and I see what's on there. I'm a season ticket holder. Doesn't affect me. But tickets for the games. It's baggy trousers. It's madness, isn't it? It's not right. Whatever.
It's not a house of fun.
No, it's not. No, very good, right? But it's. I know you can't please all the people all the time, but I don't think there's enough communication or thinking towards the way they should do it. So I'm just a bit. I feel sorry. There's a few people that I know that are staunch Arsenal who give their right arm, and it's just basically a ballot. You cannot make everyone happy in a ballot. It's fair. It's fair. It's for luck. But people will think, oh, why haven't I got it? They got something against me. It's the same old thing. And it's. I don't know how they get past that, Arsenal. I really don't know how they get past it.
Well, but it is a problem. She-War to sort it all out because he's got some ideas. He'll sort it out perfectly, and that means me and all my other friends will get season tickets for bugger all every single season. So I could probably apply for it, and I think I might be quite close to getting one for the purple section. But Ryan is trying to get one for the purple section. I don't know, he's blagging that. But he's had trouble getting tickets as well. But
that's one of the people I'm talking about. Ryan's one of the people I'm talking about. I mean, he's diehard, isn't he?
I had a season tickets for best part of 21 seasons, and my last season was the last season was the first season at the Emirates. So I had 4 season tickets, and I gave them all up. And I went, no, this Wenger, second half of Wenger's tenure was absolute nonsense, and I just got fed up with it and stopped going. Plus, the travelling was getting on my nerves as well.
It wasn't inspiring, was it? It was a nice new stadium, but it had no atmosphere at that time, which you can understand. And we looked like we were on the way down, and it didn't look like we were having a bounce at all. And it took a long time for the bounce. We're talking about it now, the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, and it was just really annoying for me because they moved me from, all the wheelchairs sat at Highbury. I had a perfect view, and they moved me from there to the back of the lower tier. And if people stood up, I couldn't see a bloody thing. And it was too late to show. So every other time I went back after that, I sat up on the second level. But so they really didn't give a shit about not being able to see. And I thought that's just bad planning as usual. And so I went, no, fuck this, and I stopped going. But now that I can go again, the child has decided to move away, and so I can't go. Right, where were we? I was going to do
stick an Arsenal for winning it.
Yeah, done that. So bring this window back up for me so I can see it. Arsenal top goal scorer. What are you going to go for that?
Trossellini.
Oh,
Trossellini. Sorry, it's Trossellini. I'm not sure if it's Martinelli or Trossard. I've got to go for Martinelli on the basis Danny, that he'll play more games.
Yeah, I mean, Trossard he reminds me a little bit of Brian Marwood when Marwood first came in and was everywhere, getting assists, getting goals. Well, Trossard's only got 1 goal for his last season, which I was shocked by.
I couldn't believe that either.
21 games, 1 goal, 10 assists, much like Marwood. And maybe even a little bit like Limpar, very similar player to both of those two. So I don't think he's going to get too many chances this season, but he is what a player to have come off the bench and even start when you need him to. Wonderful. But you're going to go with Martinelli. How many do you reckon he's going to get?
I'm going to league goals we're talking about.
All competitions.
18.
18. But there again, goal scoring isn't exactly a problem for us, is it?
No.
We'll have 4 or 5 players around that mark.
Well spread.
Where's the mighty Spurs going to finish in your predictions? Because you've had many, many years of putting up with them being half decent for a little while, but mostly rubbish. Do you remember back to the 61 season? I'm not sure if you do.
Yes, I do. I started watching Arsenal at 61, but 62 was my first game.
Yeah.
But my father and uncle, who uncle lived with us as well, were always talking about bloody Spurs. And there was a reason they called them bloody Spurs, because they were better than us. Very quick story, Dan, if I may.
No, you take all day. We've got an hour.
The best forward in the world for a long time, Jimmy Greaves.
Yeah.
He was and my father's uncle was a baker from the East End. And so he phoned my dad up and he says, you don't have to worry about next week when you're playing the Spurs. Then Jimmy Greaves came in and I put something in one of the cakes he bought. He will not be able to play next week. Right. So me being a gullible, I think about 6 years old then, I was jumping up and down. I knew I'd never seen Jimmy Greaves, but all I knew was Jimmy Greaves was like, goal scorer.
He's a Barnet legend, isn't he?
Yeah, Barnet legend, yeah. And obviously my dad knew it was a wind up, but I didn't until the day came and he played, obviously. He played. I don't remember the score, but he played. And I think that might have been not very good news for us. There we go.
He's a lovely man, lovely player.
Oh, quality man, quality player, quality person.
Yeah, no, I never saw him play because by the time I got into football in the mid-80s, I think he's probably retired by then or kicking around non-league. But yeah, Saint and Greavesy, I grew up watching that.
Oh, phenomenal. I went to, that's how much I forgot about him playing for Spurs. He was so much a good player and a personality. I went to his testimonial game at White Hart Lane. That's how much I liked him. I am mad Arsenal. Oh, no. Jimmy Greaves, different class. Absolutely.
Yeah, it is indeed. So the next one we need to know, where do they think they're going to finish? Did you tell me? Because I often forget what people say.
7th. I didn't tell you. Sorry. 7th.
7th. Any particular reason for that? Is there a little caveat with that?
No, the only caveat, Danny, is I think there's 6 better teams than them.
Only the 6?
The 6?
Some people have got them down as low as 15th. That was Ryan.
No.
Ryan's off his trolley.
Off the top of my head, Arsenal, Manchester City, Manchester United, Chelsea, I think, could do it.
Yeah.
Newcastle. Who's the other one? There's another one.
Liverpool?
Liverpool, sorry, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for helping me out there, Liverpool. They're the 6, I think, are better than them.
Yeah.
Whether they slip below that, I'm not too sure. I think they're just about hold it together and get 7th.
No.
Which they might get a trophy for. You don't know. They might change the rules.
Never know. FA Cup winner, what you got for that?
Well, FA Cup, I'm going for City again.
Yeah. Good. Well, bad. They've got to give them something. Give them a little bonus. Give them a
scrap. Yeah, give them a scrap. Why not?
What you got for League Cup?
League Cup, Chelsea. I think the new manager. You get these new managers sometimes that with decent clubs. Chelsea aren't a decent club, but a big-ish club.
They're in trouble today, aren't they?
Well, yeah, but I don't know if they're in trouble. Are they? Are they really in trouble?
They buy their way out of it.
The thing is, Danny, if they do Chelsea in a real world, and I'm not sure we live in a real world after the last 10 years, but in a real world, Man City should get done. And I can't see anyone doing Man City. So it might be, we can't do Chelsea because if we do Chelsea, we've got to look at Man City's 115 alleged crimes. And we don't want to open that box, do we? So I think it'll be a bit of a fine. Thank you very much. Next. And fine Arteta for putting a foot out the box during the game.
It's ridiculous.
Concentrate on the big stuff, mate. Yeah, concentrate on the big stuff. That's what I say.
Ridiculous. Like Chris put there, rather than Man City's put 115 charges FC So that's he didn't want us to put Man City there because they should get their name changed. Champions League. Now I've gone for Arsenal because I'm off my trolley. Most people are going Real Madrid. Have you got a surprise you're going to pull out?
Well, I'm going to go. Yeah, there's one that's won it so many times before, and I think that you can't keep Real Madrid out of it, can you? It's one of those things where they're going to be in the mix as they used to. It's like for the World Cup. Normally, when I was growing up, the first 30, 40, 50 years or whatever, Germany is going to be either, however bad they are, they're going to get to the final or semi-final. It's a bit like Real Madrid. They'll get there, but I'm going for Bayern Munich. I know they're looking for the Spurs centre forward. Whether they get him or not, I just think that the way they run that club is superb. And I think that they will concentrate on that more this year because there's not a lot of competition in their league, really, is there?
They shouldn't have won it last season, but my boys shit the bed on the last game of the season.
Yes, that's true.
Ridiculous.
That's true. But I'm going for them.
How far
with a close Real Madrid.
How far do you think Arsenal are going to get in that? Do you think I'm deluded thinking they're going to do really well? Because Chris the other night said there's 8 teams in the Champions League better than Arsenal. I said you're talking nonsense. Man City, Real Madrid are better. Bayern are probably on a level with us unless they get Kane, and that's about it.
Yeah, but the thing that puts me off as getting to the final and winning it, Danny, is it's a knockout competition at the closing stages. And we're still a very, very young team. That's the only thing. I think we're good enough as a football team, don't get me wrong. But sometimes little things win matches. And have we got that little bit of extra that needs to win the big matches and not fall at the hurdle? But I want to be wrong. I want to say, well done, Danny, saying we've won it. I didn't think we would, but you've proved me wrong yet again. So let's hope that happens.
Yet again. Hello, Timmy. How you doing? I've got more cats people that will come up and jump off the table. I've got one that's black and white like a cow. His name is Timmy, and the other one's called Tom Tom. So Tom Tom hasn't come in yet. It's their first day being released out into the wild here. But I live in a cul-de-sac, and there's plenty of greenery and trees and bushes out the back. So I think they're both going to be happy. Where's Tom Tom, Timmy? He's completely blanked me. You blanked me. Is that what you're doing? You are a bad boy. Do you like football? Do you? My brother didn't like football, so he's never probably seen any football matches. So there's something for you to look forward to. Right, so top goal scorer who plays in the Premier League, but all competitions is
it's got to be Haaland again, hasn't it? I know he hasn't scored one yet in pre-season, I don't think, but listen, he's going to be the focal point, isn't he? He's going to be the focal point for City. Whoever plays behind him is going to give the ball to him. So
well, I'm hoping he's a busted flush because he's scored 1 goal in 10 competitive games for Man City.
Is it as long as that? Well, I thought he had a fantastic game the other day against Saliba, didn't you?
In his pocket. I don't even think he saw daylight. It was wonderful to see. Right, yes. Championship. Do you give a damn about that league? And if so, who are you going to pick for it?
Norwich. I think they've got a decent manager in Wagner. I don't know how he's managed to do it, the manager. To fight a war and come back and manage a team is amazing.
It's I think he'll be doing his halftime team talks from a tank.
Yeah.
And then he will be blitzkrieging the opponents if things aren't going his way in the second half. So it's much like Highbury was. It's going to get bombed. it's going to be carnage. Norwich, not too bad. He's who was he manager of before?
Was it Brentford?
I've got no idea.
Oh, I should know.
He was a half-decent manager.
Yeah, he was good.
But Norwich's old manager, who got them promoted twice, is now manager of Leeds. Don't you think that is up for something?
Well, Leeds, I saw them play the other day.
Oh,
they went 2-0 down to Cardiff at home, and they looked all over the place. And also, if they have a bad start, it wasn't a great. They got a 2-2 draw at the finish. Being 2-0 down, I suppose that's quite good, considering in the 95th minute, I think they equalised. The crowd, the brilliant crowd Leeds. I've been up there so many times to watch the Arsenal play. The crowd are very intimidating. But if they'd just come down, if they have a bad start, the crowd will turn. Believe me, the crowd will turn.
I think
that's why I don't think they'll win it.
I think you've made a bit of an error there with Norwich, because his current record at Norwich, been there since January, he's won 36% of games. Before that, he was in Switzerland and Germany, and then he's manager at Dortmund as well. I mean, Huddersfield.
Who was the one
Town.
in England, though? Who was the one? Was it Huddersfield?
Yeah.
Didn't Emil Smith-Rowe play under him?
Possibly, yeah. 15 to 19. Yeah, 33% win ratio.
Well,
and Timo Pukki has left Norwich and gone to play in MLS.
I wonder why.
He's gone to play the soccer ball. And finally, first manager to be out of the door. And has Lopetegui been given the elbow yet? I know they're talking about it today.
They're talking about it, but I'm not going to say that. I didn't say that anyway.
Yeah.
I want to go for a strange one, because I think he's a good manager, but I think he might be struggling with the team he's got. And that's Marco Silva.
Oh, Fulham.
Yeah, Fulham.
Yeah. Someone else has picked that. Who was that? Sir Richard from the Over and Over and Over Again, who used to do stuff with, I think.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you why. They've lost their centre forward, haven't they? I think he's still on their books, their centre forward, but he doesn't want to play for him anymore, does he?
Oh, Mitrovic. He wants to go and play in the sand, doesn't he?
Yeah, exactly. So there's that, and they've lost another couple of players as well. I think they struggle. I really do.
Yeah, Willian, who was one of their best players last season, for the second half of the season, he it looks like he wants to go play in the sand as well.
Oh, right.
And so if they lose those two players, they are in a lot of trouble, because
Williams had a fantastic season for them. William,
yeah,
like another player. I think when we bought him or loaned him or whatever we did, when we forgot to put the batteries in.
It is weird. I mean, he had that one really good game for us. Didn't he get 4 assists or so?
That's against Fulham, funnily enough.
Ah, there you go. So there's all your predictions. I don't think you've gone crazy on anything there. I think you're going to be miles out in Norwich. But then again, what do I know? Martinelli, 7th, Man City, Chelsea, Bayern. I think you're going to do well there. Out of the 10 possible points, I think you could be on for 7 or 8. Maybe even 9. You never know.
Thank you for your confidence, Danny. Thank you.
That's okay. Oh, we've had some people pop up in the chat while I was looking at stuff. Phil says, what madman picked Nunes? That was Mike McDonald, the blogger. Boy 10 says, the only way is Arsenal. There you go. Loki, what's with all the capital letters, people? Loki says, good evening, Melvyn and chat. Boy 10 says, a man of culture to recover from last night. What happened last night?
Don't know. I didn't see Coronation Street last night.
I don't even watch telly anymore. And Ryan says, Melvyn left his dungeon tonight. Woo. cheeky bugger. Right, that's it then. So I'm going to close that screen there. Lovely job. It's just you and me now. So where can people find you if they want to find you on the wonderful world that is Twitter, and where do you podcast?
Melvyn, the only way is Arsenal Marks, as it says on the tin there.
Yeah,
that's on Twitter. And I'm on the Transfer Exchange every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. They're my two. And sometimes I pop up on Ryan's channel.
Yeah.
From time to time, pop up there. That's where I am at the moment.
Lovely. And now that you got yourself a decent headset, I'll invite you. I mean, I'd have had you on anyway, even though you were sound like you were in a bin. We'll get you on ABW for a few shows. I do like to talk to gooners that are older than me, because you have so much more better insight and historical knowledge, and it helps you get a better grasp of putting stuff into context, which I like.
Thing is, Danny, we have got, and we are biased, me and you. Who wouldn't be? But it doesn't make us wrong. Our club has got a fantastic history, and we should make more of it, because it's really interesting, Arsenal's history. There's some guys out there that write about it. And it fascinates me. Some I've heard of, obviously. Some I haven't. It's just, you've got to keep it going. It's so we've got such an interesting history, Arsenal, and that's why I think people don't like us as well, because it's nothing. They ain't got the history. A lot of them, nothing like us.
When you just said fucking fantastic history, you didn't mute yourself, did you?
I didn't swear.
Oh, I thought the internet has just
no.
Oh, you deliberately didn't say it.
I didn't think about it. I don't normally swear. No.
Oh no, it sounded like it, because when you said that,
when you play it back, if I do get a late red card, please let me know. But I didn't.
Oh, you say whatever you want. People say the C word on here. I don't care.
But I don't. That's not my normal thing. So if I did, that's a bit of a weird one.
No. When you said something, Arsenal have got a something history, and as you said something, whatever the word was, your mic cut out. And so we didn't hear what you said. Just at the point, what could have been a swear
word. No, it wasn't that. That's
right.
Fair enough.
Okay, well, we haven't muted him, people. If you listen to this at home, we haven't censored him. Just his microphone's blipped for a second. So whatever word you used, we will never know. It will be a mystery forever.
I'm not going to get Danny. I'm not going to get a knock at the door soon. Am I by the language, please? Am I?
Not been on this one. Good God, nothing but swear words and nonsense on here. Right, that is us done. I have arranged 4 shows for you, wonderful people tonight. Next up, we will have Drago, who is in the chat. And then that's at 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock is going to be our very own Nick Fights from ABW. 10 o'clock is going to be Jared Carver from the Gooners podcast. I'm only doing 4 today because sometimes it gets a little bit much. And I'm extremely nauseous because I've taken some medication that makes me feel like shit. And so, yeah, I'm not even hungry, but I feel terrible. So that's it. And all we have to do now, Melvyn, is you end the show with a few wise words, maybe a cheeky wave, and then I will roll the credits. Over to you.
Danny, we got there in the end. Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone. Speak to you all soon, hopefully.
As soon as I scored that goal, I was fucking livid. Get down, dog. Splendid business.
He nearly caught the bloody thing. What are you talking about?
So I was just eating a full quiche. Well, you don't often see them at Ibs, so when you see them in the supermarket, they need to be swagged, microwaved immediately, and get the brown sauce on and bosh, Bob's your uncle.
Never in doubt.